All right. Here we have Jay. He's a trumpet player, and he's never played a string instrument, so today is his introduction to string instruments. And we have today the violin. So first you're going to open the case, obviously.
Okay.
That's the first step. And then there's multiple pieces that, like, when you open the case, there's this, which is the shoulder rest. Set that aside for now. And here is the violin, and here's the bow, but we're not going to talk about that just yet.
Okay.
Go ahead and close the case. All right. So this is the violin. I'm sure you've, like, seen it before. Obviously, it's, like, pretty well known. I guess I'll start with what you're going to do when you get it out of the case at first, like how to set it up. So first things first, you're going to want to flip it over like this. That's not so hard. Now, this might be, like, confusing. I remember it took me a while to remember it first. So you see how there's a fatter, thicker end and, like, a skinnier end on the bottom? You're going to want to take the thicker end and find, new vocab, this is the chin rest. But that's pretty easy to see. You find the side with the chin rest, and you can see by this metal holder thing. And you line, all you do, like, it connects just on the edge right here. Like, it grips the side, you see?
Yeah.
I'll let you try in a second.
Okay.
So it grips the side there, and then you use, like, you have to kind of pull a little bit. And you pull, and and it locks in like that. It's just, like, it uses rubber, like, stoppers to, like, hold on to it. And that's it.
Okay.
Very easy.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you do that real quick.
Does it have to go, like, in any specific place?
I mean,
right there?
not really. I mean, pretty much right here at the bottom. And as long as you get the fat part on the top of the chin rest, as long as it lines up, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't even really have to be straight. But, I mean, the straighter it is, the tighter on it is, so that's probably the best. All right.
Okay.
There you go. Set that there. Just reset.
Okay. Does this just go, like, that way?
Yeah. So, like, the feet, like, hook onto the lip here.
Okay.
Yep, there you go. See? And then it's just kind of like, it's not like, stuck on there, but it's locked in place, so it's like, when we get it up here, it won't really move around. All right.
And do you have to have that to play the...
Really, no, but if you want to have, like, correct posture, like, our teacher was talking about how fiddle players usually don't, and they go like this, but, like, if you want to have, like, proper posture, that's for the best to have.
Okay.
But yeah, you could live without it if you had. All right. Now I'm going to introduce a few areas of the violin that might be important to just know what the names are, just so you can associate them in your head. So we already introduced this is the shoulder rest. Easy to remember because it rests on your shoulder. This is the chin rest. Also easy. Rests on your chin. Or you rest your chin on it. Now here are what's called fine tuners. We're going to get into tuning shortly, but up here are the main tuners. But every time you move them even a little bit, there's big adjustments. Down here is what you use when you want to, just fix like 1 cent flat or something like that. Just, it's easier to turn. God, okay. This is the bridge. So a weird thing about the violin, a lot of people don't know. I didn't know this. This isn't fixed in place. It's just kind of loose on here. Now I'm not even really sure why they do that, but sometimes if you pull the string too hard or something, it'll topple over, and you have to restring the whole thing. So there must be a reason for that, but that I'm not sure. Okay, this is the neck. That's also easy to remember. Same as like a guitar or any other stringed instrument. Neck, and then, I don't know, I mean, on guitar this is called the fretboard, but there's no frets, so I think this is just called the board. I'm not positive on that. I don't know why I mentioned that, but it's fine. These are the main tuners. I don't know if you've ever, like, seen a guitar. It's the same sort of thing. You twist it up or down to change the pitch. And this is the head. And then this part right here is called the bout. Like, B-O-U-T, bout. I don't know. That's not really that important to know, but I figured I'd mention it. So, real quick, I'm just going to point at a different area that I named and just tell me the name of it.
Okay.
All right.
Chin rest.
Bam.
Shoulder rest.
Nice.
The board.
Yeah. Don't remember that. I think that's wrong.
Okay.
Just, what's like, neck.
Yeah,
there you go. Forgot I said board.
No. Yes. The tuners.
Yeah, tuners.
Yeah. The fine tuners.
Fine tuners. There you go. I mean, that's pretty much everything. And what is this?
Oh, the head.
There you go. Bam. See, all that's pretty easy to remember. It's just pretty. The only thing is this part. Do you remember what that's called?
The bout.
Bout. There you go. That's the only thing that's kind of weird to remember because it's not like anything I've heard before. All right. You're moving along very nicely. All right. Now I'm going to introduce tuning. Now, this is going to be a little weird at first because a lot of violin players, they tune with, I mean, they use like a piano for notes, but they use their ear. They don't use like an actual tuner app or anything. Like, it's best to just, because eventually we're going to have to use everything by ear without, because there's no frets, so you have to use your ears. So it's good to tune with your ears. So I'll just introduce, the fine tuners. We pretty much like, I haven't even really used them yet because everything you could pretty much do from up here.
Okay.
But that's for more like worst case scenario if you really quickly need to adjust. That's like, so there are 4 strings: the G string, the low string, D string, the like middle string, A string, which is like the mid, and then the high one, which we haven't got to in my class. I can't remember the name. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's fine though. I'll remember it. Okay. So 4 strings. It's pretty simple to like remember each of the names, except I haven't remembered this one yet because we haven't really used that string yet. So tuning. It's simple. If you have a piano like we do here, you just find, if you remember, this is a G. It's a low G, so find a low G on the piano, which is right here. See how that's pretty much in tune for the most part? I'm sure it's not perfect, but with our ear, that's pretty much the best we can do. Then A, so A is right. Oh wait, that's embarrassing. Wait, this is D. I'm sorry. Pretty much in tune, right? Then we have A. You hear that one's a little flat. Now what I do here is hear the pitch, and okay, this is the weird thing about violin. So when you want to tune, you're gonna put one hand on the tuner, one hand on the neck, ready to pluck the string. You're just gonna use your thumb to pluck, and you don't want to just directly inch it up to the note because right now we're a little flat. You don't want to inch it up because that's how you can lead to like string snapping and you like whip your face. It's not fun. So what you want to do is you scoop down first. So say I'm here, right? I go down, and you just constantly pick here so you can hear the change in pitch, and you slowly turn it. But by going down first, it releases the tension, and then you slowly go back up. So less chance of it snapping or anything like that. So that's what you want to do pretty much whenever you tune, especially for the smaller strings like the A and the stop string.
Yeah.
I still don't know the name of it, but it's fine. So pitch. That's pretty much good for now.
That's pretty good.
With our ear. All right, so those 2 strings are pretty much all we're going to focus on for this lesson. So that's all we're going to work with. So, real quick, I'm going to just... All right. Okay. Go ahead. Do your best. Just remember, it's GDA for the bottom 2 strings.
Okay.
GDA.
How do I pluck the strings? Is there, like,
okay, so for now, it doesn't really matter, but what I do, I just use my thumb when you're tuning like this. So, say I'm on the left side, I use my left hand to turn, and I just use my right thumb to just pluck. It doesn't really matter how you do that. It's just so you can hear it. Eventually, we'll go into the proper picking technique, but... You were actually right with that one. I just tuned it really flat, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So remember, you're just going to scoop down at the slightest bit, and then constantly pick as you're going. And now slowly scoop up. Sorry. Okay, so is it like stuck? Let me see real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, this happens sometimes. I mean, you do have to use a lot of force sometimes, but really, I mean, this is an older like student instrument, so it's not perfect. But what my teacher has showed us in class, sometimes if it's stuck like that, you have to kind of pull it out a little bit. But honestly, I think you need to use more force than you think.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to like break it by doing that. But I know that if it really was fully stuck, you gotta like pull it out and loosen it a little bit. Okay, I think I went sharp now. Now it's sharp, so scoop down still just a little bit. Watch that tape, sorry. Sounds pretty much good.
Yeah.
Pretty much good. That one I made sharp. So now you gotta scoop up and constantly pick as you do that so you can hear the pitch. One thing you're doing now, I didn't really explain this, sorry. You're holding it kind of sideways. I just hold it toward yourself like this. Like, just straight toward yourself like this. So you can have the one finger tuning and one, and then you can hear it and it's just right in front of you. So, I mean, with this way, you got to be a little careful in case the string snaps, but
Yeah.
it's easier to tune that way. So D. That's pretty much good for now, yeah.
Okay. Can you play it again?
Wait, sorry. Keep doing that. You're still flat. Getting there. Almost there. You went a little over. Okay, sounds good for those parts.
Okay.
So let's just double check all 3 strings.
Yeah.
Now sometimes, a lot of string instruments do this right after you tune it, especially if you make big adjustments.
Mm-hmm.
It'll fall back out of tune because the string wants to go
Yeah.
back where it was. It's not ready to. So just be ready for that. So let's do
Okay.
the notes again. Okay, it's a little out of tune, but with our ear, that's pretty good. So. Okay, it's good for the most part. So let me see real quick. Just to check. So. Good. That's great. For the first time tuning, that's perfect. All right, we're ready to move on. The next section, first notes and how to hold the violin. This is an important step. Like, this is gonna carry you over for the rest if you ever play violin.
Okay.
So, first thing, how to hold it. Now, there's 2 ways we hold it in class. So I'm gonna teach you both, just real quick. One of them is really simple. We call it guitar hold because it's like we're holding a guitar, right? So, this is pretty much how it sounds. There's not really anything like technical to it. Just kind of place it in your lap like this. So you have your right hand ready to pluck the strings, and your left hand. We're not really getting to the left hand yet.
Okay.
At least for right now.
Just
but
up, yeah.
just have it over the fretboard, ready to play. I don't know if it's called fretboard in violin. Sorry. Just assume that on the neck. Have your finger ready to go on the neck, and this is how you hold the guitar position. Nothing really technical about it. I don't think there's really any like specific checkpoints you need to have. It just in your lap, straight down. Have your fingers ready to pluck the string, and your left hand ready to play.
Okay.
So just go ahead and try that. It's pretty simple. Yeah, there you go. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
This, now the proper way to hold technique might give you a little trouble, but I'll just go through it slowly. So, remember the shoulder rest, right?
Mm-hmm.
First thing you want to do, take the violin. It lines up. I mean, that's why it has this curvature to it. It'll line up with your shoulder.
Okay.
You just pretty much set it right here. And then just hold it up for now. I want you to feel that real quick. So on your left shoulder, obviously. Feel that contour to your shoulder. It should fit kind of naturally.
Yeah.
You feel how it like forms to you? Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's already like 50% of it at least. So, next step. You have it on your shoulder here, nice and easy. Now, for now, we're just gonna like hold it by the bout. That's like a good solid place to hold it if you ever want to hold it. So, shoulder rest, and then like what a lot of people assume is you're gonna go like this or something with your chin, like toward the violin. No, you just want to keep your head straight and then angle it onto the. It doesn't really feel that comfortable. It doesn't really fit perfectly, but it's there to like hold your chin up. So while you hold the bout and it's on the shoulder, just tilt your head to the left and rest it against it. Really, you don't want to be like pushing down. Just a light rest, so you have this momentum. We'll get to this eventually, but it should just feel pretty comfortable for the most part. Like, I mean, it's not gonna form to your cheek because it's flat.
Yeah.
But you'll still feel it there, and it's nice to have. So
Okay.
go ahead, hold it by the bout like I just was.
On the side?
Yeah, whatever. Line it up with your shoulder. Bam. Okay. You don't really want to turn your head.
Yeah.
You just kind of really want to keep it straight and then to the left a little. There you go. That's perfect. See, it like goes to kind of the side of your chin.
Yeah.
That's what you want. All right. That's pretty much how you hold the violin. I like to think of it as like 3 checkpoints or 2 or 3 checkpoints. Like 1 on the shoulder, lined up. 2, shoulder on the shoulder. Chin on the chin rest. And then the third thing is just kind of to have this left-handed place, which we're gonna get to shortly. But for now, just know that it needs to be in place. And this is the full hold because most of the weight is rested against your shoulder and it's held to get finely with your chin. But like I could pretty much let go right now, but a little weight is supported by the left hand. So this in total is the hold. So go ahead, just place your left hand. You see how I have it? Kind of like my 4 fingers are ready to go on the strings. It doesn't really matter what orientation. Just have your 4 fingers on the string and just feel that you hold a little bit of weight with this.
Okay.
So that's the total hold. Yeah, see, just like that, that's fine. And you see how you're holding a little bit of weight. Like,
Yeah.
you're not relying on holding it with this. It's mainly on your shoulder. Okay, one thing, you see how it's coming off your shoulder a little? You're going to want to be a little... If you need to scoot this way, that's fine, because the piano in your way. Yeah, it should stay on your shoulder. See how it's like coming off a little bit? Now, it does feel kind of natural sometimes to want to pull it out, but for the most part, you want to be straight to the side. Now, that's good. And you see how you have this bend in your elbow? That's good.
Okay.
One thing we talk about in class is when people are getting sized for their instrument, either viola or violin, they extend. So go ahead and extend your arm all the way and hold out here. Like that, right? They test that with the instrument to see. You should have a natural bend in your elbow. And if you don't, that means it's either too big if you're like this, or sometimes it's even too small. Because there's different, this is the full size violin, but there's half and there's eighth size, stuff like that. So if you want to be able to like go like this comfortably. So if you're all the way like this, not going to work. All the way like this, not going to work. So
okay, that makes sense.
That's just a little run through, but all right, let's see. So now you know how to hold it. That's an important step. Now we're going to introduce pizzicato technique, which is what we were talking about earlier, like how to properly pick the note, like with your finger. So we're just going to start with just our pointer finger.
Okay.
Go ahead and just, this is kind of silly, but like take your thumb and pretend it's like, just push it against like this, or just something on this piano. You feel how you like kind of push forward so you like have that stability with your thumb. Yeah. Now just go like this with your pointer finger, just like you're plucking. Yeah, see? That's exactly what it's going to feel like on here. So we're going to, I mean, you could either do it like guitar position or like this, but we're going to talk about for regular technique for now. So it's against your shoulder. You get your 3 checkpoints, chin on the chin rest. Now, right now I'm looking at it, but when you're eventually playing, you're going to really not want to look. So, shoulder, chin, left hand. Now, for now, we're not going to use any left hand. We're just going to pick an open string. So, like I said with this, you take your thumb and you rest it against the bridge right here. So, it just should feel pretty comfortable just to place against. That's how you get that back pressure to pull. If it's just kind of loose, it's kind of like you have to use your whole hand, but this way your hand can stay still. And you're kind of almost pushing forward with your thumb and pulling back at the same time, especially if you want to play loud. That's how you really get a loud note. So that's pretty much pizzicato. I mean, on music sometimes you'll see P-I-Z-Z, which means, usually it's with the bow, but if it says P-I-Z-Z, that means pizzicato, which is this.
Okay.
So this is a real technique used by violin players just to pick the note.
Is there a specific like place that you have to?
Really, no. I mean, I like to just go as pretty much the bottom of the neck. So, because I don't want to be up here, you know, especially eventually when you have your left hand. So, yeah, I use like pretty much the edge right here to place my thumb, and then I have full control. So just go ahead and try that, and like just feel out, especially like the D string is what we'll be working on mainly now. But go ahead and like pluck all the strings. Yeah, make sure your left hand's out of the way. Like so go ahead and move your thumb a little further down because you're starting to slide up. Just try to keep that in place and just be careful of that. Now go ahead and try to hit the D string. Try to hit it like loudly. Just see if you can pull harder than that. There you go. That's like a loud note, you know, because you could change the volume by how hard you pull. Yeah. So that's, you know, something you can use. If it's piano, you're gonna a little pluck, but forte, you're just gonna want to kind of pull it back. So that's pretty much it. Pizzicato, nice and easy, right? Yep. Nothing really too difficult there. All right, let's do like a little exercise. Sorry, hold this real quick. I'm just gonna get out the book. We're gonna do number 6. 1 second. So one thing I'll just quickly explain, because you play trumpet, so you're used to treble clef. So violin is in treble clef, so it's what you're used to. That's why I haven't really spent time talking about that. So yeah, treble clef, and like we said, this is the D string, right? So look, D, same as trumpet, right? Yeah. D, and then the A string, which is, so these 2 strings you're gonna use. So, you know how to read music. Yeah. I'm gonna count you off, and you're gonna do this exercise. Do you have any questions or anything? Did you want me to hold it like that, or? That's a good question. Start in guitar style. Okay. So, I didn't really talk about picking in that. It's the same sort of thing, where, I mean, it's really, I use my pointer finger and pull up, like this, like toward myself, I pluck it. And same thing, thumb here, just to have that stability. So same thing, it's just kind of opposite, because normally thumb's at the bottom pulling down. Yeah. Now thumb's at the top pulling up toward you. Okay. So go ahead and try that real quick. Just play a couple notes. Now hold it. You're holding it like toward you, like this. Make it like flat up and down, pretty much like that.
Okay.
That's see, there you go. That's easier. Right. So now we're gonna do it in time. I'll go nice and slow, but you understand.
Yeah.
The D and the A string, right? That's all you need to know for this. We're just gonna do number 6. I'm gonna count you off and just go ahead and do your best. Doesn't need to be perfect. All right. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rest. Okay. That was a little fast. Let's do it one more time.
Okay.
I mean, you started out of time, but I think that was your
Yeah.
first time doing it, and eventually you got in there. That was a little fast, sorry. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rest. Rest. Okay. There was a couple times when you got a little out of time, but I get that because it's kind of uncomfortable at first to like have this feeling of like moving your finger fast enough. Like especially when you skip strings, it's just kind of awkward at first. But that was very good for your first time. So that was guitar position. Now we're gonna do the same thing here. So you remember, you pluck down and thumb rests against the bottom. So it's just gonna go rest. Here, nice and easy. Now, one thing you'll probably notice is now that you're focusing on the pizzicato, you might feel your posture failing. That's another thing I haven't really mentioned. Same as trumpet. You're going to want to have good posture, you know. Straight up and down, back off the backrest. I should have mentioned this earlier, sorry. But yeah, go ahead, do the exercise. I'll count you off. Do you have any questions before we start?
I think I'm good.
Okay, all right. And 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't rush. Okay, good. And there was a couple moments where you wanted to rush a little, but I get it. It's slow and it's coordinated. So I know you understand how that works. All right. Do you think you can handle number 7?
Sure.
I think you can handle number 7. All right. All right. Same sort of thing, but it's just more skipping around. All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 5. A little slower. 6. 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. All right, very good. Now, your form looked pretty good by the end there, so that's good. Like, as we add more things, you're gonna realize like this is what happened to me. As we started adding more, especially like the bow and left hand technique, I started feeling like I wasn't really getting those checkpoints anymore. So it's just important to remember those 3 checkpoints. You know, shoulder, chin, left hand. That's simple. Just I hear that in my head pretty much every time I go up to play. All right, ready to move on to the left hand playing technique. Ooh, I don't know. All right, let me see real quick.
Yep.
Too bad we don't have 2 violins. So it's a lot easier. All right, so left hand. We already have everything else we really need, especially for pizzicato playing. Left hand is how we play different notes other than open strings, obviously. Now, right now we have the tape on here because we're students. I'm a student.
Yeah.
And this is just to show us these first 3 pitches. So with pizzicato, I'll just let you know now. You might think you're like not doing it right because it sounds kind of like faint and that really doesn't ring out as the open strings do. That's normal. It's just because it's pizzicato. When you have the bow, it'll hold out.
Okay.
But you hear out just kind of like dull sounding.
Yeah.
That's normal for pizzicato. I just want to let you know that because I was confused. I thought I was doing something wrong. So we know the right hand. Now I'm going to introduce the first playing shape we want to sort of have. So first things first. The way you want to, like I saw when you had your left hand, you didn't really know what to do. You're just kind of like this. So I'll explain step by step. What I like to do first is I line up my thumb on the neck like this. Left thumb just kind of in place near where you're going to be playing. Like, you know, if you're going to be down here, you don't want to be up here with your thumb. It just should be pretty much comfortable. Like, kind of like you're just grabbing it like this, but just lower everything a little bit. So it's like you have a little bit of space between your palm and the neck. So it should be something like this. And your fingers will just kind of naturally rest. Just for now, just put all 4 fingers like this on the D string. So you see how I have this?
Yeah.
Thumb straight, and it has a little bit of a bend in it. You see that? Now, this might cause some problems for you. A lot of people want to go like this and want to break the wrist, essentially, like, you know, trumpet. You have broken wrists, similar to that. You don't want this because eventually you're going to not have as much mobility as you could when you're like this. So you don't want this. That's why we have the little bit of bend in the thumb. It just naturally forces the palm to be a little open like this. You want to have space between the palm and the neck. So don't think this, think this. Nice and open. Right? That's pretty much it. Just place your 4 fingers like this in a row, and then have your thumb just a little bit of bend, and it should be good.
Like that?
So you see how your fingers are kind of staggered? See if you can almost array them so they're straight. It's going to feel uncomfortable at first. Now, you're already starting to break your wrist a little bit. Let me just stand up. So put your thumb, similar to how you had it down here, like, bent like that a little bit. Now, don't really, I feel you're like using a lot of pressure. It should be just kind of like natural. Here, let me see one more time.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, it should just be kind of like, just start without this hold. Start down here. Place your thumb naturally. You don't want to be like pushing. By having the, I mean like a natural bend as you rest it, like that. Then your finger should just kind of wrap around almost.
Okay.
So just, you see how the 4 in a row, I mean,
yeah,
you were kind of starting to go like this, which I get. It's uncomfortable at first, and I've been playing guitar, so I'm used to this. So I'm not trying to make it look easy. It's just, I understand. But just as long as you're not pushing, because as you're pushing, you probably wanted to get pressure.
Yeah.
Just lightly rest it against, and then the rest should just kind of fall down naturally to have this kind of shape. So go ahead and just try it like down on the side like I just did. Now, again, you're holding it like up like that. You're going to want it to be like that.
Oops.
Oh, here, that's fine.
Yeah.
You go ahead and do it, actually.
Oh,
You do it. You got it. Remember, flip it over.
Yeah.
The shoulder strap fell off. Remember, fat side with the chin strap. Look for the metal piece. That's okay. I did that a billion times before I was able to do that. All right, perfect.
Okay.
Now just have your thumb, see you're on its side. You want it to be straight like that. Don't push down. Just rest it against, and then you're gonna have to contort your thumb a little to keep it straight. But that's way better.
Okay.
That's way better. That's fine because there you go. You just had it for a second. When you had your thumb straight like that, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's great. So now see if you can put it on your shoulder with the proper technique and get that same shape. It's gonna feel a little awkward. There you go. See? Same thing pretty much. That's perfect. All right, go ahead and hand it to me. Now, we only have a couple minutes left, but before we leave, I'm going to introduce just these these 3 different finger notes we're going to have. So just on the D string, this is okay, so D, E, F sharp, G.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
it's like the end of a scale, or the start of a scale. So, how we get that? I already have the tape here so you can visualize it. You're going to line up your first finger right over the tape, and all you have to do is press. It might be harder than you think, because I know you've never really played a string instrument, but it should just be, you don't want to not press enough, because I get that. You don't want to press too hard, because you're going to hurt yourself. Just as long as you can hear the note audibly. So go ahead and just do that for me. Just holding guitar position, have your thumb, line up your thumb with, it should be lined up, almost like you're just doing this, like you're pinching. Just line up your thumb, rest it against like this. Line up your first finger on the blue tape. That's blue, right? I'm colorblind.
It's purple.
Thank you. I had a feeling. All right. Line up, and then you're just going to use your pizzicato technique.
Okay.
Nice and simple. Just hold it nice in guitar position. Line up your thumb. Remember, you're going to want to put your thumb here and then use your pointer finger. That's fine. There you go. Good. Now, skip ahead, go ahead. Middle finger and then ring finger there. So, wow, you got that pretty quick. That's nice. All right, so go ahead and da, 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 if you feel ready to do that. Great, that's perfect. And the last one, you were a little on the edge, but it was still pretty much so that's fine. So, let me see real quick. So, before we go, we're going to do a quick exercise with that, just in guitar position, like you just did. 4 quarter notes. Up and down, just like that.
Okay.
Like a little 5-finger pattern or something. Okay, very good. Let me see one more time. We have more time. Actually, we're pretty much out of time. That's fine. Don't end it yet.
Okay.
I just want to say you did a really good job. You were able to pick up on everything we did.
Thanks.
Nice and quick. And I think if we had another lesson, you'd progress a lot better. So
Okay.
Good job. This is your introduction to the violin.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you.